Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast. I am your girl Davina, and I am so grateful that you decided to tune into this week's episode of the Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast. We took a little break last week, and listen, there's going to be another break coming pretty soon, but I'm thankful to be back in the studio with my divine guest tonight. But before I have her introduce herself, I got to do my announcements. Okay. So make sure you are, liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast on Spotify and Apple Music. Make sure you are, connected with Divinely Crowned on pretty much all the platforms. Okay. I have some exciting things coming up in the next few months. So make sure you are connected so you are able to hear about those things. Okay. But yes, and I hope everybody is also just doing well. I know life has been lifing lately. So I just hope that everybody is taking care of themselves and getting the proper support and rest and all the things that they need to keep pushing through each and every day. But yeah, so without further ado, I am going to, and also just remember to, get in the comments, talk to us. We like to talk back. So make sure you are doing that as well if you are watching this live. But like I said, without further ado, I am going to let my divine guest, Marie, introduce herself so we can get into this conversation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marie. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. And I'm here to talk about my life journey and
Yes.
where I am going in life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm about to real quick. I'm gonna tag her so all her people can follow and share this video. I'm like, you guys pray for me because I need a assistant at this point. Okay. But yes, so she is tagged. But yes, so I always like to share how I know my divine guest. And when I was thinking about just our journey of friendship, I would definitely like to say we have a friendship, a sisterhood. And I met Marie back in ninth grade. We went to Strong Vincent High School, and I can see it clear as day. We were in line in lunch, and this ninth grader, she just had all the wisdom. I was like, whose mama is in this freaking line? But she just was always just such full of wisdom and just her. She's definitely wise beyond her years, and so we've always just connected and always have had great conversations and a great relationship. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to get Marie on here because I know she gonna be dropping some gems. Okay, so yes, I'm like, Marie, you gonna come jump on my podcast? And she said yes. So
definitely.
yeah, so we've oh my gosh, so it's over a decade of friendship.
Yes.
I love it, and it's crazy, and I know we'll probably get into it a little bit, but just knowing our journey of like, there's times that we've not talked for a long time, and then times we've checked in with each other and stuff, and so I just always appreciate those friendships where it's like, no matter how much we may not talk, we always, connect
It
again.
seemed like you
So
just like what we pick up off.
yes, legit. Yeah, I'm like, we done ran each other randomly out and just enjoyed each other's company. Just so yes, I love it. So let's get into this conversation. So Divinely Crown is all about, talking about the journey, where we're at, where we come from, where we're at, and where we're going. So I always like to start at the beginning. So tell me about young Marie, where she grew up. I know you grew up in Erie, but like, tell me what that journey was like.
The young me, I say, I always, okay, so the young me, I feel like I have been the same all my life. Only thing different I say throughout my life is the way I handle how I carry myself. At some point I was, very angry, young Marie. And they say I was a bully, but I don't feel like I was a bully. But I was just straightforward with people, and I'm still that way today, but I always had the nurturing soul, the big heart. I'm the same person, but it's just I got wiser over the years,
Mm.
how you handle people
Yeah.
and, what you allow in your space and what you don't allow in your space.
Mhm.
But growing up, being a kid, at first being young, I wanted everybody to, how you want everybody to be your friend,
Oh, yeah.
but then it's like all the girls turned against me. They didn't like me. It was crazy. But then I just, I had to let people know, like, yeah, this ain't that. This ain't that. Yeah.
He had
this
to
ain't
let him
that.
know this
So,
ain't that.
and
Listen.
so
So, like, when do you feel like what age was that? Like, were you
I
really
was in
like
grade school.
grade school?
Still in grade school, yeah.
So you said like you were
Basically trying to fit in, like, not, I ain't gonna say like fit in to be somebody else, but fit in to make the crowd that, basically that was popping, the girls that was popping, that everybody, but then it's like, it took one day, that's when I realized, like, my mom said to me, she was like, why do you think you got sisters and brothers for? That's what, those are your friends. You don't need more friends. I gave you enough friends, your sisters and brothers.
Listen, I knew
So
what I was
after my
doing.
mom said that, as far as having a friend, it really took a different type of, it was a different outlook, like, for me, like, okay, if you don't like me, you just don't like me. I can't force you to like me. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No, and that's good that you were able, your mom even kind of shared that, like, and I know my mom always preached that, like, your siblings are, and I do that with my kids. Like, yes.
That's the thing. My mom raised us that we have at the end of the day, because they're not going to be here forever. So they instilled that in us to let us know, once I'm gone, keep y'all together.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing like sisters and brothers. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my mom.
So how many siblings do you have?
So altogether, it was 6 of us.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm the baby girl.
Okay.
And then I have 3 older sisters, and then I have 2 older brothers. But then one of my brothers, now he's passed away. He's no longer with us, but still with us.
Yes,
so,
for sure. In spirit, always.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, so you're the baby?
I'm the baby.
So tell me about how it is, because I know my baby sister, how she is. So, like, tell me. So your mom's like, listen, you got siblings, like, you don't need friends, but, like, tell me how it was being the baby of the family.
So my big sister, that's my older sister.
Yes. I think, do I know this one? The oldest sister? I know there's one sister you're kind of always have been with. And
that
like,
got to be the older sister.
Okay.
So my older sister, that was the sister that said I had to always tag along with her. So, like, basically, she couldn't do that. Like, if she wanted to go somewhere, I had to go too. Like that kind of ordeal. So me and my older sister, we definitely have had a dope bond. But all my siblings, we all, close together. Like, that's just how we was raised. All sisters and brothers bicker and argue. Jump one another or what. But I don't recall, being into that. But I'm just saying.
Yes.
But I'm grateful for the siblings that I have.
Yes. Well, shout out to all of them.
Yes, most
So,
definitely.
like, being the youngest, because you're the youngest and you're very nurturing, which is like, I could be wrong. So youngest children out there, don't be. But normally it's like the oldest or the middle or the second oldest, so like the nurturing. Like, I know I'm pretty nurturing, but, like, where do you feel like that came from for you to have this very nurturing spirit?
My mom, my grandmother.
Okay.
My siblings. It just, that's how we was. It was just that love and that affection was in my home. If we didn't have nothing else, we had that love and that affection.
Good.
My mom was just always straightforward with us. She never sugarcoat nothing with us. You know what I mean? So that was a blessing too for my life. So, because you have some parents that teach their kids lies as they get being raised, and they get into the real world and they lost and they confused because they wasn't taught. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that. As in my mom being and she's full of wisdom too. So I guess it come down the tree. So I start from my grandmother. And boy, I tell you, I miss my grandmother. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my girl. My grandma just,
Listen,
yes.
I love it. Well, they definitely, from what knowing you, I know they've instilled some great things into you. So, like, tell me, like, so those were like the 2 like really impactful women in your life.
My aunt also. My aunts also. Like, my family, period. Like, our family was family oriented when I was younger. So as we got older, it's not how close as it was, but my family was close. Like, cookouts, get-togethers, we did all of that. So everybody knew everybody. Now it's like everybody lost the way, and that's all families, around the world. It shouldn't take for the glue of the family to keep the family together, because they already planted the foundation. So it was on to us to keep the foundation going. Like, so it's very, very important to me. I feel like it's like families need to get back into that family or into we have at the end of the day. You got to set the differences to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's nothing that sometimes it could be something so serious that you feel like you'll cut a person off, but then you got to really analyze, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to learn to love a person from a distance.
Yeah.
And it's okay to love somebody from a distance. It don't matter who you come from or where you come from. Like, it's okay to love people from a distance. You don't have to have a close relationship or like, as long as I love you and I still pray for you.
Yeah.
But we don't have to be around each other 24/7.
I love that. No, and that's true. And you saying like, do you feel like, I want to know maybe your opinion, because now that you're saying this, I do feel like, you know, the people, the glue to a lot of our families has gone, and now like our generation, and I know there's families that are still very close, but our generation seems to have lost sight of that bond.
Yes.
So what's your perspective on that? Or maybe even maybe some advice, because you know you full of wisdom.
Well, you know, it stemmed from us.
Yeah.
You know, we know what we was taught. So it's like it's us. It's time for us, the younger, like our generation. You know, to take charge, to pull us all back. So, you know, so the kids can know who the kids is, because a lot of kids don't, like, a lot of families don't know who is who no more because of not getting together. You know what I mean? And some families still do, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
You know, it's just being realistic. You know, a lot of people different, you know, everybody branch off and do their own thing. Everybody are doing their own thing. And, you know, life is life. Like, everybody life consists of different things, but you make time for what you want to make time for. So family can always be number one, you know. So
bring the families back to. I'd miss that. I know, even like, I feel like my family, all my siblings are married, some of them with kids, and it's like we grew up with our grandmothers and knowing like this holiday we're at this family's house, and now it's like we're trying to find our way and our traditions, but also learning.
Still keeping the old traditions in the mix.
Yeah.
Because as we get older, there's always going to be our own swing of things, but still keeping what was instilled in us going.
Yes. Yes. Bring the families back. And I mean, and if you have that, I just feel like cherish it. Cherish if you are still able to do those family traditions, if you still have those tight-knit families, keep them and cherish them, because nowadays, like, literally, I feel like life has just shown us how precious time is, how valuable it is. And it's like we need those, not just in our families, but like those close relationships, you know what I mean? Because life is life.
Yes, it is. It most definitely is, you know. But still, that saying, you got to still be careful for the company that you keep. You got to be definitely careful. For me, most of it is just like, because people understand that who you are, and sometimes people get too comfortable of the fact that they knowing who you are, and sometimes they overabuse that privilege of knowing who you are, you know. So you have to be careful of how you let somebody enter.
Can you elaborate or elaborate on that a little bit more, what you mean by that?
So what I mean by that is like, okay, I'm just use me. Okay. So like I say, I'm a big person and I do anything for whoever. It don't matter if I know you, not know you. But you have to be careful with that, because people will take that as an advantage. And their mind is like, you know, it's a memo card. Like, oh, I could get Marie to do that. Oh, I could get her to do that too. You know, but they don't never take the time out to say what could be going on in your life before you can even think to say, hey, Marie can do that. Ask before you just assume. You know, and people don't do that. Sometimes I feel like they overabuse it. You know?
or the word that comes to mind is maybe like, or the overstepping boundaries and not knowing how to not cross boundaries.
And people, like I'm learning that. I mean, that's my thing now. For me, that's my now thing for me. Is I'm living for Marie now. And if you can't respect it, then I don't know what to tell you. It's about me. It's about self-love. Because this is the thing, as us as people, period. We always learn how to pour into someone else. The biggest part that we mess up and we lack on is always not pouring back into self. And that's the thing. You still at the finish line, but everybody else done passed you like 10 times and you still stuck. You get what I mean? Because you let everybody else, because you putting you out there for everybody else and you leaving you back here. You know what I mean? That's not how it goes. Because throughout life, if you know good for you, how could I be any good for you? You know what I mean? So I'm a firm believer, you got to practice what you preach. So that's my thing.
And sometimes it's easier said than done.
Yes, most definitely.
So do you have any maybe practical tips or things you've learned along the way to help you in those moments of like, you know, I got to put Marie first. I got to focus on self-love. Like, is there anything you might do or maybe suggest or want to share with, you know, the listeners that, you know, has helped you?
the biggest thing for me, far as you have to put you 1st, um, it's just when you go through your breakdowns, your own breakdowns, and it's like you look around and like, where's everybody at? I mean, who can I call on other than God? Because I have a relationship with the Lord, but it's like, well, who can I call on?
Yeah.
Well, who can pour into me? In them type of situations, So it's just
learning how to.
Yeah.
I have Elizabeth McLaurin.
Yeah,
She
that's my
said she
girl
gets
right
her
there.
wisdom from me.
Nah, baby, you get it from me.
I love it. Listen, it could be a mutual
It run
thing,
through the
okay?
family, baby. It
Right,
run
is
through the
that a
family. That's a family
sister?
member. Oh, that's a sister. My little sister that I never had.
I
She my
love
cousin
it.
sister, yeah.
Listen, those are the best kind. So, all right. So, young Marie, you kind of found that, if you don't like me, hey, it's okay. I gotta be me. So tell me, like, okay, let's get into high school, I
High
guess, because
school,
that's
right.
so. Tell me, like, what that journey was like for you. Because that's where we met, and that's where, like I
Right.
said, like, listen.
Yes, high school. Actually, I feel like high school journey. I appreciated high school, but I appreciate it more looking back. Like, there's certain things I did in high school that I wish I would have did from the gate.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when it came to me doing honor world at the end, at 12, getting honor cards at 12 in the 12th grade. I should be doing it since 9th grade. But you go through different things in life, but it's just still, and that's my thing. Like, I always try to instill into my nephews, my nieces, my little cousins. School is very, very, very important. Get your education, because can't nobody else get it for you. So that was the thing. If I can go back at certain things in high school that I would change. But I loved high school though. Yeah. Got to meet a lot of a lot of good people, you know what I mean?
And you were always to me, I feel like you were always so outgoing. Like, you were do you feel like you were outgoing?
Yeah, outgoing. Yeah, I was outgoing.
Yeah. So how was that getting, I guess in life, like, how is that? Do you feel like you're pretty? I feel like, no,
I'm not outgoing no more.
No more.
No more. No, I'm not.
Do you feel like it's a good thing or a bad thing? Or
it's in between.
Okay.
More so, I'm just not big on people. I'm not a big people person no more. I was when I was in them age brackets. I was always had company, always friends, stuff like that. And I don't know, older I be that, like, the older I get, like, I always been old though. I tell people all the time, I've been an old soul all my life. But I just feel like the older I've become, I'm limited. Like, having a relationship with somebody, because you have to be careful with having relationships, because your meaning in a relationship does not mean it's the same meaning as for someone else.
Man, yeah, that's so true.
You have to be careful. And that's what I'm saying. Time is precious, and my time is valuable. So it's like, me and you being able to be, tight is very slim to none.
Yeah, no, and you, when you even said that, like, you're actually, like, I almost got a little emotional when you said, because, like, that's what I've learned too. Like, you can be, like, friends with somebody, and that relationship can mean one thing to you and not so much to the other person. And it's like, wow, like, how do you kind of, like, what do you do to maneuver that, like, through that? Like, have you learned, or?
So for me, it's like, you got to sit back and you got to analyze the people that's in your life. You know what I mean? And the roles that people play in your life. And it's like, you have to really sit to yourself and think, like, could you elevate with this person being in your life? Are you able to feed? Because you feed that person feed you back. And what I mean by, like, that, what I said, just like saying pouring into somebody. Could that person pour into you?
Yeah.
Just as well as you pour into them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very important, like, with relationships,
Do you feel like, okay, because I've been watching, like, all these things and just, like, realizing that some, like, expectations. So do you feel like sometimes we might, and I don't know if you can answer this, but it just kind of popped up when you were saying, like, can you pour in? Can I pour in the way you pour in? And sometimes I saw this thing was like, sometimes you got to realize that people can't give you that and be okay with it.
You have to learn to this is my biggest thing. I had to learn that who I am, I'm not that person, and that person cannot be me. So how I go about dealing with you, it's not going to be because you expect to be it to be reciprocated. It's not going to be reciprocated the same.
It's so hard
because you have to remember that we are two different individuals. You know what I mean? And how you take it in and you put it into perspective is also going to be different from how they take it in and put it into perspective. So yeah.
Do you feel like people, I don't know, girl, I'm just like sitting here wondering, because I feel like lately relationships and it can be romantic, it can be friendships, families. Like, I just been seeing so much about relationships, and it just gets me thinking, because relationships are so important to me. Like, I cherish relationships, whether we talk every day or we talk once a year, you know what I mean? But do you feel like, or do you think, or maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to ask the question, then you can answer how you want to do you feel like people give up on relationships too easily nowadays?
I do. I think people forget in a relationship is not going to be, I think people get when you think you're in a relationship, whether if it's a best friendship, whether if it's a romantic, whatever relationship there
family,
is, whatever. I think they people forget that you're going to have your ups and downs, and it's like, if it sometimes it'd be one side, if it ain't that person way, then it's F that. You know what I mean? Forget about it. Or you could stay mad. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't see no wrong. Or when you telling a person what they're doing to you that you don't like, they don't think that they're doing anything wrong. But when you bring it to, they don't know how to accept the truth.
Yeah.
So it makes them mad, so accepting the truth.
Mad, and sometimes I feel like it's an ego thing. It's a embarrassment thing. Like, people, because I know I'd be like, what?
No, nothing's perfect but the Lord himself. That's it. That's all.
I know. And like, I don't know why, like, relationship, like, I don't know why all of a sudden I just feel led to talk about that, but I just like, maybe because I value your opinion, and I value your, what you have to say. So I'm like, so what do you think of this?
Yeah.
So, okay. So relationship. So what do you do? Like, what is your
my occupation?
Yes.
I'm a CNA. So I'm a certified nurse's assistant.
So you're a nurturer.
Yes. I love working with the military. I'm telling y'all, if I feel like this, and if you in the medical field and you just in it for the money, you got to get out of it.
Amen.
I'm gonna say it just like that, because if you, this is how I perceive, this is how I see when we get a job. Okay. My outlook on a job is, yes, if somebody is there in HR that decided to hire you, but that's not who hired you. God is who hired you.
Ooh.
Why I say God is who hired you? Because God places where he needed us to be. So he saw that it was fit for us to have that position. If he didn't give you that position, it ain't meant for you to be there. So if he placed you somewhere amongst it, because at the end of the day, we all on borrowed time because we all his. But at the end of the day, these nursing homes, these hospitals, but more so, I'm gonna talk about the nursing homes because that's the field that I'm in. This is, if you really don't have the passion, to have the time take to the side for these elderly people, because we're held accountable to take care of his children until he decides to call them home. You know what I mean? And if you can't love on them the way they need to be loved, because see, the thing about people forget is that we are children twice and adults once.
Well,
so we
that's
go backwards
true.
into
Yes,
being
we
a
do.
child before we leave here.
Yeah.
And it like the thing that irritates me the most with some people when they say, "Oh, I couldn't do that job," and I get it, but at the same time, I feel like you can't say you can't do something if you never did it.
That's true, Marie.
Because if you annualize
I will say this is what I say when it comes to like those types of occupations. I'm like, it takes a special person. I feel like everybody, like you said, if you're only doing that for the money, like, you shouldn't be doing that, because it does take people that I feel are called to do those jobs.
I mean, don't get it wrong. We do all have to take care of our household, but it's more to just a paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but so I'm speaking for me. So to me, it's more than just a paycheck, So now I'm a CNA, but now I do hospice and home health.
Okay.
Right. So I had a question. It was, well, one of the nurses asked me, said, how could you do that job? I couldn't do that job. Ain't that job tough? It is, but it isn't. I'm going to say why. Because we all have a time to leave here. So if I can be that person that can add that little bit of sunshine in a person's life for their last days, I don't mind doing that.
Yes.
Regardless, because you have some people that's demented, that's not demented, and some that's still in their right mind. But if I can be able to come and bring them that joy, into their life, and to know that the last moments that they have here was good moments, why not?
I love it.
You know, why not?
Oh,
So
don't make me emotional.
yeah,
I
I'm not
already
trying to
been
make you
emotional.
emotional, but I'm just being
No,
realistic
that's
of, you know, I
good.
love my job. I love, and
I
but see,
love
this is the
it.
thing, and it's like you get more wisdom. So how I see my job is I get multiple grandparents. You get what I mean? It's multiple grandparents that I get.
Yeah.
You know, all different types of
Yeah.
multiple grandparents. So that's how I look at my job.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
how do you deal with maybe that, like, because you said you work in hospice, so you kind of create that connection with those people, and then if they pass, like, because I worked at the caring place, so the greeting, so I have a different outlook on grief. I have a different outlook on death than I did before I worked in anything like that. So, like, how do you deal with that? Like, when those things happen,
like when they
they pass,
they pass.
yeah,
It all depends, because some relationships you get close to them, and sometimes it don't be that long of a period of time to where that relationship ain't long enough to have an emotional effect, you know. But when you with somebody for 6 months, or 2 months, or you have a little bit more time with a person, so it bothers you a little bit, but then you have to sit to yourself and think, look, they're not suffering anymore. You know, they did what they was called to do.
Yeah.
Now he need his children, he need his child back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
perspective. And I know not everybody is able to do that, but for you to be able to say that and be able to take your faith, which I want to get into next for sure, because everybody knows if you listen to my podcast, your girl loves God.
Okay, because
Okay.
so do
So
I. Listen, baby.
so so let's talk about this, that your faith and how that kind of plays a part in your
My
life.
life. So my faith, I mean, having faith, it started when I was a kid. My mom had us all in, all in church, and us, we drift off and go a different direction. But the Lord, and I always had a relationship with God, whether if I was in a church house or not in a church house.
Yeah.
But I've been through some things, and when you go through things in life, you realize, like, mama didn't get me out of this. Sister didn't get me out of this. Friend didn't get me out of this. Only person can happen. God got me out of this. I'm still standing today because of him. Like, my mom did help me create me, but my creator is my Father above.
Yeah.
So yeah. So my relationship with him is very, very, very important.
And then when, like, you said all your life you were in church. Well, let's just get real, because
let's get real.
Let's get real. So you should be in ministry, and we talked about this before. So, like, what do you feel like you want to, like, what type of ministry do you feel like one day you want to be in? Or how do you, like, yeah.
See,
Look,
my thing,
I didn't mean to put you, but I just feel like I need to, because I feel like, okay, so I'll tell you this. I just think that women, and it doesn't even have to just be women pastors. I just think women in ministry is a beautiful thing. And I feel like we need more of it. I just watched something. I'm in a girls' Bible group, and they're like, I heard that women aren't supposed to be pastors and things. And I'm just like,
only God can make that call.
Right. And I'm just like,
I mean, they say a lot of things that women are not supposed to do. That'd be cracking me up. Women is not supposed to do a lot. And a lot in the world. See, that's the problem. That's my thing. See,
go ahead, go off, sis.
So that's my that's my thing. That's one thing to get underneath my skin. It's like,
okay,
people live for society. You can't live for society because they don't have control of your life. Only you do. So your choices in your life of what you want to do in life is up to you. You dribble those balls in your court. How you decide to shoot them is on you. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. Everybody worry about what somebody got to say, or what's somebody gonna talk about you, whether you're doing good or bad.
Say that.
They're gonna talk about you regardless. So if you decide that you would so worried and hung up on what, baby, you're gonna be stuck for a long time. Long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the thing, where people have to get a grip to that. It's not what somebody think about when you wake up in the morning, because you see you. You know what I mean? And if you don't like what you see, baby, then you fix yourself within, because you don't like it. It's not because somebody said something about you, and that's why you feel like you got to change that about you.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
So like, because I'm like, listen,
like,
she comfortable now, because my sis, this how she normally is.
Like,
she done got relaxed.
Yeah, I'm relaxed. So that's the thing. Like, you have to live your life how you feel. Like, it's up to you to live your life the way you want to. Because, like I said, you're gonna be judged by people. But see, the thing is, the only person could judge you is God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's another thing of why people don't go to church either.
Yeah.
Because they be so focused on what somebody coming there looking like, and who somebody connect. That don't got nothing to do with me coming to get my soul fed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because what if that's all I had to wear? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You pushing, you sending me in the opposite direction because of what I have on. And people assume, oh, she came in there with that dress on, looking like that, trying to get. That's a favorite line. Somebody trying to. I'm trying to. You don't know what I went through last night. Why I'm here this morning and I look the way I look. Ooh. You know what I mean? So that be the thing, and that's why people don't want to go to church, or they think and the thing is, they make people think that the church is just full of everybody in the church is just a hypocrite. Baby, don't do that to me. Yeah. Now, listen, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it, but I ain't no hypocrite now. Yeah. But that be the thing, that y'all pushing the people away, and then y'all wonder why y'all can't keep y'all numbers up. Now we just a number two to some pastors, like, you know what I'm saying? It's the numbers, you know what I mean, that matter and count. Oh, if we don't get this many numbers, we ain't gonna be able to get that funding next. But like for real, that's what we doing. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I do.
And I'm just being real, like, and I'm just saying how I feel, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to be led by a righteous man or woman of God, that's actually connected to him and is real, like, authentic, and some people, you got false prophets going on. You got, baby, it's time to clean house. It's time to clean house.
No, and I hear you, and I do know, and I've had a few other people on here. I had actually my cousin Courtney, who's she grew up in the church as well, and just talking about her experiences and her perspective on just the church nowadays and our generation. Like, why are we like, I love church. I go almost every Sunday.
Well, sometimes baby, I ain't been to church in a couple Sundays. And I just being realistic about it. I don't know. Like right now, that's just not where I feel like I need to be. I have a relationship with God everywhere I go, so it's like, I don't have to be at church in order for God to hear me. Yeah. He gonna hear me regardless. I have a relationship with him. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna deny me because I ain't in his house. Because technically every house I step into is his house. Yes. So, that's all that matters. What he see about me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true. So I know you were saying pretty much like, how people maybe don't feel welcome, but like, what would you, if you like, say people running the church, were watching this, like, what maybe encouragement
like to give,
would you give them?
To like the people, or to the people that making to the
congregation?
Just tell them the different, it's different ways you can go about things when it comes to talking with people or dealing with people. You know what I mean? Because people have to realize the way you was taught, they wasn't taught the way you were taught. So give a person a chance. You know what I mean? You don't, like I said, you don't know what nobody can be going through. So just don't assume, or just because of how somebody come and look, or what somebody, or what you heard, because people talk, they gossip, but you know what I mean. But if you didn't come, I feel like this, if it didn't come from the horse's mouth, I mean, it's not validated. So that's how I feel, because people gonna talk.
Yeah, they are. So thank you for sharing that. Hopefully that helps somebody if they
don't be afraid to go to church, because that's the thing. Like, it's okay to go get your soul fed. That's what I go to church for. I needed my soul fed. This is what I'm here for. Lord, I'm here to hear this word that came from you through your son or your daughter that you have up here. Yeah. So yeah.
You're so adorable. I love you.
I love you too.
So let's go. Okay, so you're CNA. So take me through, like, what other fun things about Marie? Because
listen, baby, Marie, baby, listen.
Marie is auntie, Nana, granny.
Listen, baby, I got my moo-moos on now, okay? It's like, okay. I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is, anytime, baby, when you get in the house, it's like, I want to go outside. No, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay right here in my bed. So, actually, I enjoy being with my best friend and her children, and my nieces and my nephews, and that's what I do. It's like talking to my family, and then the people that I talk, like the Beth, the one was on there talking junk so much. I get her my wisdom from her.
Elizabeth.
Being around family. I mean, I love being around my family, but I got my moments too where I isolate. When I'm going through my own thing, I tend to isolate. Why? Because I'm a person. I don't want to feel like what I'm dealing with is I'm lashing out at you and you didn't do anything to me. And sometimes people don't understand that. People think, oh, she acted funny, or it's not that. It's just that I don't want to hurt you because you ain't caused what I'm going through. So why put you in the mix of it? And you can't help me because at the end of the day, only the Lord and myself can help me.
I was just gonna ask. Me. That's what I was gonna ask because I know. So like I feel like a lot of us have been in isolation lately. But do you think that is always the best thing to isolate when you are going through?
Not I'm learning not necessarily, but you get so used to that habit. You gotta break bad habits. You know what I mean? So I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Because I have a mom. Like I can call my mom and talk to my mom about anything. You know what I mean? And she gonna tell you right from wrong.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You got to accept for. She gonna tell you, regardless if you want to hear it, if you don't, you gonna get it. So that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I got sisters, my sisters, my big sisters too. Or my niece. Like, so my niece is not my age, but they my nieces. Like, like we all grew up around together. So it's just like those my babies. So they're my heart. So they all got old. I feel like my family just got funny.
Yes, we just got be like that sometimes. Yeah. Okay, it be like that, and I just love that. I feel like it's from what you've shared. Your family is big, and I'm always talking about how like your tribe is important, your community, and it seems like you have that.
Yeah, I got it. Yes. Like we definitely can get, like I said, get more. Start doing more family things together and stuff like that. But my family definitely, we coming. You know what I mean? It's if you call, I'm coming. I might be a grandma. I might be snoozing. But Granny gonna get up. But Granny gonna get up.
So we got this platform. People gonna watch us later. People gonna listen to this. You want to say anything to your tribe, your family?
Y'all know I love y'all. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for y'all. I know I could get on y'all nerves sometimes, but it's okay. But yeah.
So let's talk about friendship, because our friendship is, like I said, I remember we've had times of
yeah, baby, we had times. Yeah.
We've had times of like, I ain't messing with Davina, I ain't messing with Marie, but like, what do you? Because like we talked about, I guess this podcast is a lot about relationship and friendship and family and tribe, but like, how do you feel people can come back from when they do have to have those, like when those tough times happen between friendships?
I'm at a point now in my life, baby. If the bridge burns, baby, that bridge is gone.
I don't even feel like we've ever had burned bridges. I just feel like we just like it just got older.
Growth. We just went opposite direction. But for far as me now, so it's like me now, like taking on a friendship. You know what I mean? It's not because normally in friendships, you and a friend fall out 20 million times and y'all back together, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm at a point now. If we build, and this is a forever thing, and if it becomes where it's not, once it if it go, it ain't no rebuilding. It ain't no rekindling. It's just it's done. Like that's just where I'm at with it. Like we're too grown. Like you know what I mean? Because we're grown enough to express what's bothering us, or we're grown enough to say you were wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Because a person can't read your mind. If I did something wrong, tell me. I can't get mad about you telling me what I did wrong. I need to write my. I need to write my wrong.
Like
I gotta listen. In order for me to fix it, I gotta write. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tell me in order for me to fix it, to change it.
You're right about that. So. Well, I definitely cherish our friendship. That's why I love it when you check in. We check in with each other.
Most definitely. It could be months. Listen, hey, just checking in. Hey, how you and the kids doing?
No, legit.
What's up with you? Yeah, I'm good.
I always appreciate that about you. Like truly, I definitely do. So we were talking about earlier about like, when you were younger, just wanting to fit in, and then realizing that, with your mom, the support of your mom, and like that, I can be my own, person, and things like that. And, Divinely Crown'd is all about self-love and confidence.
You have to have that.
Tell me how, like, have you, so once that happened, like your mom kind of, poured into you,
let me know.
So do you feel like you grew up with confidence and self-love?
Well, I feel like I don't really feel like it was a point where I didn't have confidence within me. I'm gonna be honest. Like I feel like I always was me. I felt like once I got to that point, I felt, matter of fact, 5th grade. Once I hit 5th grade, I'm who I am. You gonna accept me for me, or don't deal with me at all. And that's just where I'm at. And that's like till today. Like I'm 33 years old, baby. Either you're gonna accept me wholeheartedly or baby leave me where I'm at. Because I ain't gonna chase you and force you to stay. I don't care who you is. And that's just, I'm just being real. I don't care who you is and how close. And listen, when it comes to me, baby. Yes.
Listen, I know. So I want to ask, I know, and I don't know how, you tell me, you don't have, but you did talk about losing a sibling.
Right.
Can you share maybe, your experience with that? Or
that right there is listen, I'm gonna say it like this. I done lost everything that you can lose. But losing a sibling is definitely it's one of the hardest losses I ever had in my life.
Wow.
Especially not having that, to call him. Like my brother was so much to me. He means so much to me. That was my guy. I was his Miss Marie. So they always like, how she get called Miss Marie? I'm like, don't do that.
Listen, she got it like that.
I'm his Miss Marie. Yeah. So not having my big brother here, it definitely impacts me. It's an impact on me because it's just like I have my moments where I want to go pull up onto him, catching him, cut hair, or outside playing with his dog, or just calling him, or just to see his big smile. Like like my brother was that person. Like he didn't care who you was. He gonna protect you regardless. He didn't play that bullying nobody. Being like, my brother was quiet. You know what I mean? So it's like not having him here is just like, it's different. It's awkward. You know what I mean? I have my moments. I try to keep it in, like I'm okay, but I'm not okay. You know what I mean? I'm at a point in my life right now, like I'm going through an angry stage in my life right now. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. When I'm angry, I don't want nobody to get this. It's not for nobody. And it's like, it just don't stem from the loss of him. It's like so I feel like my 2022 was my 2006. Okay. So I'm gonna elaborate on that. So 2006, I lost 4 family members.
Oh wow.
Right. So how it go? It went my aunt first, but she was my cousin, but she really my aunt. That's how I was raised. So I'm just saying my aunt. Then from my aunt, it went to my uncle. From my uncle was my grandmother. From my grandmother was my own child. So being 16, losing 3 family members. Then on top of that, you turn around and come home from burying your grandmother to burying your child. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being 16 and you going through that, like, I shut the world out. Yeah. I turned dark. I turned very, very dark. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to see a child. I didn't want to hear a baby cry. I didn't want to, none of that. I didn't. I'm being honest, but I was mad at God first and foremost. And I had to ask for forgiveness. Because it takes you to another place. But fast forward to now, I'm not hurting anymore, but I yearn for my kids every day. I yearn for my kids. So it's a part of me that will always, throughout my life, long as I have breath in my body, it's gonna be always a yearn. Even though I know that my kids are in a better place, they're not here on earth suffering. Because just hypothetically, say if my kids did survive, I wouldn't know how my kids would have been. It didn't matter how they would have been, because I'm going to still love them and raise and take care of them. But so being 33 and you sit back and you analyze your life, like you would have had still I count my son's birthday. So
you do, and I love that I will say I do love that you just are always shouting them out when it's your birthday and things like that. So and just keeping
my oldest son will be 17 this year.
Wow.
And then my second son turned 10 this year.
Okay.
So my kids would be 17 and 10. Yeah. They 7 years apart. Yeah. So just experience it at 16 and turn around 7 years later to experience at the age of 23. You know what I mean? Even though I went through it the first time, and they're saying it's not the same. It's 2 different losses. That's what people think. Like, oh, you can have another baby. You can't replace the first child you had. It would never will, because the connection will never be the same. Yeah, it's a different bond that's forming each child that you have. Yeah. Every pregnancy is different. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people don't get that. So, so losing my brother, losing my kids, and then it's like back to 2022. My biological father, I lost him. Okay. Didn't really have a tight relationship with him, but he's still my father. We had our moments. So I didn't think that it impacted my life the way it did, but it definitely did.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? I could remember me saying if he would die today, I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't do none of that, you know. That wasn't the truth. I broke down, you know, broke down. I had my moments when I still do. Because it's just like, it's a lot of things that I never will have answers to. You know what I mean? So it's like things that he know or things I would never have the answers to him. You know, I mean, his siblings can't tell me anything about him because they're not him. You know what I mean? They can share the things that they experience, but they're still not him.
Yeah.
And then his brother, I lost my uncle. You know, his biological brother. That was my only uncle. And so it's like, dang. 2023 is almost like 2006 because instead of 4, it was 3.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like my dad first, my uncle, then my brother, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like for me, for as far as my brother, it's like, you didn't just take them from me. You know what I mean? You didn't just take them from my mom, but you took them from y'all took him from his 7 children.
Yeah.
Plus his own grandchildren.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's hard, you know, we can't be their dad, but we only can love on them and be there for them. So it's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Losing a
I can
sibling is
imagine.
definitely a different type of loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. First of all, I just want to say thank you for, being transparent, honest, open, transparent, and being open to sharing that. And I can imagine that I knew you about your boys and obviously your brother, but I didn't realize that you had that many losses. So I listen.
Yeah. So it's like, as in being a person, like I said, everybody deal with grief differently.
I was just gonna
everybody grieve differently. But I'm gonna tell people like this: you have to
Yes.
deal with your
Thank you.
grief.
Yeah.
You have to allow yourself to go through the stages of grief.
Stages.
You have to let yourself go through them because if you don't, it would turn you to a person that you do not want to be. And I always say this: nothing has power over you unless you give it to it. You know, so nothing has power over you unless you
I'm
give
gonna have
it
to
to
write that on my wall. Okay.
Yeah,
No, that
yes.
and how you and I was gonna ask, like, what has grief taught you, and you saying to, you got to deal with your grief and there's stages of grief. I did not know that until I start working at a grief facility. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That there's literally a spiral, like just like you shared about, like, you're in that stage of anger.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a time when you're in that stage of joy, remembering all the things and knowing that, these people that you love, your loved ones are free from all the things of this world. Like, man, you lucky you ain't you know what I mean? Like, but it's like definitely a learning, like you have to deal with those stages.
You definitely do. That's just like I tell people all the time. You definitely have to deal with your past. That's the biggest thing with people, us.
Yeah.
Including me.
Yeah.
Because I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to deal with your past. And why I'm
do.
gonna say this is why I say you have to deal with your past. Because how could you expect to be with somebody? So I'm gonna get here because this is where I'm at.
Go ahead, sis.
I'm at a point where I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to build. I'm ready to be with somebody, but you have to take 2 steps back. You have to face what is holding you back.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a person to say you can't live forward if you still worry about what's behind you.
That is so true.
Your past is a past for a reason, but you have to face that past.
Face it.
So each thing, because see, the thing about us, I'm gonna use me. So my thing was, I say, I'm gonna use this as my picture of Kool-Aid right here. So it just overflowed because I didn't face nothing. So I just let it overflow. So it's basically like a running faucet, the juice just dripping all over the floor. My floor is sticky as heck. You know what I'm saying? And by not doing that, it's like you push it to a back burner. So then you have moments of a time, it was like you crying, and you're like, what are you crying for?
Yeah.
And you don't know why you're crying, but it'd be something that it trigger something that you done went through and you didn't face that.
Didn't face it.
So you keep bottling all of it up. So it stopped a person to be able to come in. You can't welcome somebody else into your life and be any good to that person or thinking that you're going to start off a good relationship with that person when you're still dealing with your own mess.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like this. Why do this man have to go through my baggage? Because it's mine.
Okay, and I'm going to stop you there real quick, because here's what I feel about that. Because I totally hear what you're saying, and I agree. We do have to deal with our past. But I also have learned that sometimes you will not, you can think you're healed. You can think, okay, I dealt with this. And sometimes it takes for you, and it doesn't have to always be romantic relationships.
Right.
It can be a new friendship that was like, oh, shoot, like I thought I was healed from this. Sometimes it doesn't take until you're in another situation to realize, oh, I still got to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's like you said, that person shouldn't have to deal with your baggage. So you're going to have to learn to
This is
deal
what
with
I'm
your
saying.
baggage. Go ahead.
So being with somebody, we all gonna come with something.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna come with a little something.
Yeah, a little
I
something.
didn't say you had to come with a whole luggage now.
That's facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Bag lady. You okay.
Yeah, so you come with a
real
little
quick,
something.
I had Jazz Poetic Truth. She said facts when you was talking.
But so you come with a little something with somebody.
Yes.
You don't come with a luggage with somebody. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's just vice versa. Men typically don't know how to, some men don't know how to express. And that would damper a relationship because you're a person on this end, you a person that you're willing to open up and say, what's this, and this is bothering me. But him over here, because you don't know his process of things living life and how he processed things when he going through whatever he's going through. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get flustered as a person because it's like, oh, babe, what's wrong? Like, why can't you express to me? Or why can't you feel like you're comfortable enough to talk to me? You know, you want to be with me for the rest of your life, but you don't want to talk to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Emotionally unavailable.
Like, so
and
it's
literally, and even saying that, gosh, there's been so much stuff. Like, I've been going crazy reading some of these mentalities, and I realize that all of us as a whole, it ain't just men and it ain't just women. Everybody is damaged. Y'all got all this baggage that no one wants to face, and we keep wanting to talk about everybody else's baggage.
But you
You gotta focus on your own baggage.
You can't keep hopping from this. This is the thing. You can't go from Shakoya to Jessica, then to Leslie. You can't go to Jack to Myron to Billy and feeling like you're gonna find what you're looking for.
No, you have to deal with yourself.
Right.
You have to deal with yourself.
You have to, in order for a person to be able to come in. Like, and that's the biggest
because that's
thing.
Another thing too. I don't know if you like I just feel like also soul ties.
Yeah, it's real. And people don't understand how real soul ties is, baby.
They real.
Listen, they very real. Yes,
and you ain't gotta be like a Christian to like or
listen.
Faith.
Listen.
Like,
like I said before, I'm listen, I have a relationship with the Lord, but ain't nothing perfect about me.
No,
baby, I'm still ironing me out.
We all are.
You know, so listen, yeah. So we're not gonna do none of that.
No, listen, but yeah, we all. There's so much that I think we're missing in this generation when it comes to like what you said. Like, you cannot bring this baggage, keep dragging all this luggage to the next situation and think that you're gonna have all this peace or somebody's gonna want to deal with that. And it's just so much.
Because you got to also think about that person's mental state.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Because like I'm saying, you don't know what he could be going through. You want to come in
family trauma, like
listen, it'd be so much different type of trauma. It could be family trauma.
Yeah, life.
It could be life trauma.
Yeah,
it could be. You can go. You could have been in a car accident. You could have been in. You could have broke a leg. Like it's just different things that put you in a different type of having traumatic experiences. And if you don't embrace them and deal with them, then I mean,
because I feel like we all got a little bit of PTSD at this point.
Yeah, some shape or form.
Like, if you would have told me this is how like adult life would be,
listen, like adult life in this
ghetto,
baby, take me back. I'll be a kid again. Take me. Listen, I'll be a kid again, Mom. Just I still need my own space, Mom. I just need to pay my rent for me, and I keep it clean and all that. But just let me have my own personal space. You know what I mean?
Said, don't rush to grow up.
That is a true statement.
Why?
But see, I didn't try to rush to grow up though.
And I didn't either, but like I always heard that. Like, I mean, there was some things I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to move out of my parents' house. That was a big thing. And look, I'm living with my parents now. And I was so disappointed in myself when I found. Now I'm like, yes, I live with my
parents. It ain't nothing to be ashamed about. Listen, if I could, if Mom said, come on over here and get
so
you.
So many people that say that.
Listen, if Mom said, come on over here and get you right before you go ahead and, go back out and jump into another. Listen,
but
get
you know
right.
What's crazy? In different cultures, like, people like they all live together,
and there's nothing wrong with it though. But see, this is the thing too. Like with us as Black people, I'm gonna get into it.
Get into it.
Right. So I round of applause to my Black people that have their own businesses, their own, everything. But see, the thing is with Black people, they think that they feel like we're in competition. Why? Why? Because I do that already. She copy. Ain't nobody copy. Girl, it's enough space to give everybody a reach.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Listen.
Oh, I twist, she twists too. Okay, baby, you can twist it, baby. She might twist it a little bit better. I get you. I understand you. Ain't nothing wrong with sharing my wealth with everybody. If I wanted to go to Boquisha, Tanya, and Lisa, I can. Oh, she trading on me because she going over there. I ain't trading on you, baby. I'm just giving somebody else a chance too.
No, that's true.
But I don't play that. Hold on, wait. I don't play that everybody in my head though. Now I'm gonna say that. I don't
either.
But
no.
But I'm just saying, like I was just using that as a
shout out to Shar and Nika, my girls for my hair.
I know that's right. Well, shout out to Alicia and Tiana and Ebony, because them the three that got me started on this journey right here. On my love journeys. Okay.
Shout out to the queens.
So shout out to
here
them. Yeah.
Doing hair and having them blessed hands that help our hair grow.
Girl, I didn't know how to act as she got done with my hair on Monday. Okay. Listen,
it's beautiful too.
Yes,
so tell me about your lock journey.
So okay, let me tell you.
Look, we all over. We are in a Divinely Crowned conversation. This is what happens. But I do want to know, because I'm obviously getting ready to start locks, but I do hear that it's a different. It's a spiritual journey. We have Tavia. She said, "Hey, ladies," and actually, Tavia and Jazz are my former Divinely Crowned guests, so I gotta shout them out. I love you, ladies.
Hey, ladies. But I decided because so my middle piece, I don't know. Everybody go do this. I don't know. They say your worry spot, your soft spot. I don't know what type of spot, but I just know I was getting tired of that spot. You get what I'm saying? Everything else growing in the little Bo Peep just don't want to go nowhere. I just want to just sit there and don't. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this lock thing. Okay. See if this lock thing, grow it out. If the lock thing grow it out, then cool. If it don't grow from this lock thing, then baby, I'm going all the way straight, just straight haircut.
Okay.
A straight haircut, because I can rock it, baby.
You can,
baby. I can rock that.
Had a lot of hair.
Listen, I cut it to see. Like I cut it all the way down to, I think that the men call it a one fade or one, whatever they call it. I don't know, whatever it is, a one. And I got a design in it, and all that, and and it fit me. I got that little spindle pin here that got it, it's round enough to fit it. Yeah. This is literally yes. All the time. So I liked it. I said, so if this don't work, then I'm just gonna have a cut for the rest of my life. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I like it.
Yeah.
But actually the little Bo Peep is growing. You know what I'm saying? It's sprouting out. Like so it's growing. It's like I'm up here, I'm getting it now. What? Yeah. So
well, shout out to the little Bo Peep.
Okay. So yeah.
Jazz said same. Jazz, I saw you want to cut your hair again, but we ain't gonna talk about it on here.
Yeah, so much beautiful hair. Yes.
So okay, so like, how do you feel like you've had any like? I feel like some people are like, oh my god, like going through your lock journey is like spiritual.
Listen, I almost said before I got it retwisted on Monday, baby. It was about to be over. I said, because listen here, like when it gets to that growing out and it looking crazy and it don't look as good when you first get it twisted up, and it's just like, yeah, baby, this ain't me. This is not me, honey. Yeah. How much longer did I got to go?
Did it mess with your self-esteem or like
no? I loved it. Like I said, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Of course.
That's what I said. As soon as I got done, Alicia chair with the first person, that's who started me. Like so. The other two ladies will be the ladies I'll be going to until the days when Alicia come. I'll go back to her as well. But like I said, there it goes, sharing the wealth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, this look real good on me. That's just how I felt. Like, yeah, what you was doing all these years?
That's how I felt when I went natural
I loved that process on you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'm like just faking it till I make it. It's like, no,
it ain't faking it. You got your hair come the way you want it, honey. Listen.
No, I'm really not doing this for that. I just I fell in love with these faux logs and
it's just and it's maintenance.
Yeah.
You ain't got pull your hair up, pull it down. Girl, braid it back, whatever you want to do, and I get to going about my day. I don't got to play with it, trying to slick edge control hair and gel up. No, we ain't got to do none of that. Listen,
get up and go.
Yes.
So since we're talking about hair, and I just feel like hair is a big part of Black women's life, like it's our crown and things like that. But I want to take us back to confidence. So I always like to ask, this question of all my guests. You know, like I said, Divinely Crown's all about confidence and self-love. And I always ask, like, what does confidence look like to you, Marie?
Oh, baby, confidence, what it looks like to me. Embracing me. Embracing me for every inch of me. You know, because baby now, baby got rolls. I ain't never had rolls, honey. Baby arms flapping in the air and everything else, and it's just being confident of who you are, being comfortable in your skin. You know what I mean? And I've been comfortable in my skin. I mean, for a long, long time.
Yeah,
but I came to wait a minute. I came to a point now that I got this little fupa duper, whatever they call it. I don't know. I never get it right, but I be calling it super duper. Okay. And ever since I got so since I got that, it was just like it's just certain stuff I don't like to wear. To me, I just feel like I'm too big. And this is like, girl, you be tripping, because a lot of stuff is it be in our head. It be mental. And I got dressed when I said, girl, stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with me. So sis, because this ain't it. My sis, my other side, that other also, because I got the other side.
I do too.
But the other side, she gotta stay she gotta stay below the surface. Yeah.
What's her name?
That's it. You don't Antoinette. It's just something that she just something else, honey. I just be trying to figure out now that's the person that nobody wants.
No one wants.
You just want to keep
Marie
on the surface. I'm promise you that's the best person to have. Because you know what I'm saying? Because
my gosh.
Yeah.
My cheeks hurt. Well, thank you for sharing your what you feel. I hear you on that. I feel like, man, it's this post about how you're I just shared it again, but it says like your calling will crush you, and if you're called to do certain things, you'll be attacked in those areas. And the one is that sticks out to me, like I'm like, there's a few on here that actually I want to just read it because I feel like people need to like hear what I'm saying. But I'm just like, one of them is about you know, if you're called to help people with their self-esteem, it will be attacked. And I'm like, oh yeah, it be. So it says your calling is going to crush you. If you're called to mend the brokenhearted, you're going to wrestle with brokenheartedness. If you're called to prophesy, you're going to struggle to control your mouth. If you're called to lay hands, you will battle spiritual viruses. If you are called to preach and to teach the gospel, you will be sifted for the wisdom and that anoints your message. If you are called to empower, your self-esteem will be attacked. Your success will be hard fought. Your calling will come with cups, thorns, sifting that are necessary for your mantle to be authentic, humble, and powerful. Your crushing won't be easy because your assignment is not easy. Your oil is not cheap.
It sure ain't.
I was like, yeah, Jesus.
It sure ain't.
I feel that.
I've been told though that's the calling on my life though as a preacher. I have been told that. And the anointing that I have.
I can vouch for that. So, I believe it. Real quick before we get too far from the subject, Jazz said that style inspired me with when I once was locked. So that's your style that you have.
Oh, tell her. Okay, now tell her I said well, thank you, honey.
And then she said, "Man, the truth." That's what we were talking about with your calling. So were you gonna say more about?
So I've been thinking. I'm keep getting asked. Well, when you gonna start your videos, or when you gonna? And I'm always saying. Well, I always say, when the Lord leads me. Well, I was just told today, jump. I ain't gonna jump. I ain't gonna say you said that.
I don't know who said that, but it's the life
so
coach it's just So when do you feel like God's just gonna tell you? Because I feel like He kind of already. I think He
been told me, yeah.
And it's just like I just ain't jumping.
Yeah, so I think it's just a time for me to jump in.
So if tomorrow she starts making videos, say no. So Marie gonna jump before 2023 is over.
Okay. We
just be on the lookout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you feel like? I mean, I don't know if this is a personal question, but I also just like to be asking questions because I like to. But like, why do you feel like? Do you feel like it's hard to jump?
No.
So why haven't you jumped?
I just didn't jump. honey. I don't feel like it's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna say I was scared to jump.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it that way. And then he didn't say, the Lord didn't talk to me, and he didn't tell me. You know, it's now. You know, it's now, and that's just what it is. But I gotta still do my little homework and get my stuff right before I jump. Before I go ahead and jump. And so then once I get it, you know, everything in line, I'm a jump.
Okay.
Before 2023 out.
We gonna be waiting.
Okay.
And I just want to say it like this is like I'll say this now because maybe somebody else needs to hear it. But when you said that, like I gotta get myself in line and stuff like that, I will tell you full transparency. I'm not where I need to be spiritually and things like that. But I do feel like, you know, sometimes you have to just walk forward and then he will meet you there. You know what I mean? Like Jazz being on like in the comments just kind of like triggered the fact that like I did a women's group for the beginning since it's been like 6 months we did it. No. Yeah, it's been some months, whatever, but just knowing that we all are on our own journeys in that group. We all have stuff. But we love the Lord.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we all are able to, we give each other words when we need. Like there's times when they'll call me and I'm like, listen, I just was not making the best decisions. But you know,
because sometimes it's different when it's yourself versus to give an empowering message to somebody else. Because sometimes you know we able to just throw it out there for somebody else, and it's like we try to find we playing where is Waldo when it comes to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we doing I Spy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just say yes. But all I'm just gonna say is, sis, I encourage you to jump because people are waiting for what you have. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're waiting. Yeah. Listen, you've had this in you since I met you in 9th grade.
Yes.
We about to celebrate 15 years.
Isn't we?
So
I can't wait. I know. It is so time, and
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not really sorry because back then I was not in a space to be throwing no event, but I'm like, all right, I need to throw this 15-year reunion.
Yes, Miss President.
Yes, Miss President. Oh God. So I always like to ask one more question. Oh, you good, girl? Hold on. Take your time.
Lord, dear Jesus. Hold on, Lord. Don't let me.
Jesus was like, I'm gonna give you a
hold on, Lord. All right.
She said, I've been. Oh, yes. Marie and Jazz. I think y'all would hit it off, by the way. We might have to make a friend connection. Listen. So I always like to ask, what would you tell young Marie? Let's go all the way back to 5th grade, before 5th grade. What would you tell her now at the age you are? What would you say?
I'm enough. You are enough.
Yeah.
You always and have been enough.
Yes. I love it.
I'm enough.
You are enough. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I always like to also leave the floor for I said the royal mic, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna figure out what exactly to say. Oh, Jazz said he said jump when you was coughing. That was his girl. He was pushing you.
He was pushing with that choke, huh? He said I gotta get her. I gotta get you. You telling somebody when I told you now is the time. Right now.
Now
is the time. Yes, it's the time.
Now.
Yes.
You are made for such a time as this. My mentor, my spiritual mentor, she wrote that in a card when I was scared to jump. She wrote it in the card, and I've never forgotten it. It's been a few years now, and I feel like Divinely Crown'd has grown because I am made for such a time as this. So yes, you are too, sister.
Yes.
So yes. So like I said, I always like to leave the royal mic. Is there anything, any wisdom you want to share? Anything that you wish, like, oh, I wish you would have asked this. Anything? The mic is yours, sis. Go off. Let off.
Let me see. To the people, I'm gonna say this. Lord, what you want me to tell your children?
Okay.
I can't never be afraid to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we feel like, oh, sometimes we be prideful. Your pride can get you in trouble sometimes. But never be afraid to ask for help, because that sometimes, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we all go through different things. And sometimes you don't know how to come to a person and saying what you're dealing with, but don't be ashamed of what you're dealing with, because that's how you're going to get the help.
Yeah.
Just because we all have stories, we all been through things, and what we've been through can help somebody else, and that's just like how I see me, like with my kids, like, because like it took me into, like, I was, like I said, mad at God and asked God to forgive me. But then that's also understand that there's other women in this world that went through what I went through, but even though we went through the same thing, it's still different.
Yeah.
People have to understand that just because I lost a child, it's not the same. We're two different people, and like I said, we grieve differently, and but don't be afraid to open up, and my biggest thing is for us all, just people, period. Don't be afraid to go seek help. And I'm saying that because I'm on my way to go seek help, because it's just that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to go to get the necessarily the stuff that you need for you. You know what I mean? To put inside your kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't leave your cabinets empty too long. And the metaphor what that means is you just can't leave yourself naked for too long.
That was an old auntie saying right there. So I don't want Sheree.
Shara. That's her. That's my
Shara.
best friend.
Okay. She said, go ahead, bestie. I know her. I remember her. Y'all be going on trip. Dang, we didn't even get into the trips. You be going on. Do you still be traveling?
Girl, yeah, I'm getting back to traveling.
She said, go ahead, bestie. And then she said 100. But you definitely was a traveler.
Listen, and getting back into traveling. I'd have had a little bit of, malfunctions in life. You hear what I'm saying? Life then throws, them curveballs. I mean, and when they threw them, baby, they was, not no little, that was almost, you know what I mean? Like, so it swallowed me whole, spit me back out, and swallowed me again. But no, so that's the thing, you know what I mean? That's my thing. You have to live. You only live once. You can't wait for Keisha and Tasha, and you can extend the invite and say, "Hey, I'm going here and there."
She acts like Petey Pablo at this point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just wait. Yeah. That's the thing. People, I'm gonna wait till don't stop waiting, because you necessarily might not get a chance. And that's for me too. Y'all heard me, because I'm trying to tell y'all to stop waiting.
Listen, I guess it be like
I gotta jump. Yeah. So don't wait. Don't. And stop limiting. People got to stop limiting themselves. You can do anything you want to do.
Yes,
only person that can stop you is you. You have to understand that you control you.
Yeah.
Mama don't control you. Daddy don't control you. Your husband, your significant. Don't nobody control you but you. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the thing. Live life the way you want to live life. Do the things that you want to go do.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't gonna want to go to Zimbabwe and Jamaica, and everybody ain't gonna want to go where you want to go.
See, she said, "Oh wait," first she said, "Hey girl, how you been? I've been great. It's good to see you." And she said, "I need a vacation. I need a vacation too."
Listen, so I'm getting ready to go on vacation at the end of this month.
Okay, well, it's September.
Yeah, I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to see Drake. I want to do some other festivities while we're down there.
I don't know if you're what is it called? An aquarium person, but I loved their aquarium.
I think we did an aquarium the last time we went.
I love aquariums. I love nice. Water.
I'm a fish at heart, baby. Yeah, I love scenery. I love scenery. No, baby, I'm an Aries.
You're close though. My son is an Aries.
Yeah, they don't like us. We're not really liked it around the world. I don't know why we so much. We so lovable. We're so lovable. We just I told you the other side.
Yeah,
Antoinette, you just can't go over there. You can't shift over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because once you meet Antoinette, it's just it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
I've seen Antoinette, but I never met her.
Yeah, so it's just like, we good people. They just think that we just the rudest, meanest. I'm always told I mean. I don't think I mean. I just think I'm straightforward.
No, you're straightforward. So, you don't play. She don't play. She got them auntie vibes. She said, "I know it." She said, "We got to link me, you, and my bestie." Yes, for sure.
I'm just trying to live life. Do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just trying to live life
in
the
life
process.
And jump.
Live process.
That might be your title for this episode. This podcast episode is "Live Life and Jump." And Elizabeth said that she is me. You can say that because you a bestie,
that's a sister.
No, sisters can say that.
Listen here, can't nobody say that. I get told about it. My mama tell me I mean. Everybody, when I say everybody,
Listen,
baby, everybody say I mean. I'm just
don't
straight.
play.
I'm just straightforward, and I just, I got older, and it's just like I'm zero tolerance to a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm at a point where if you just keep circling the same situation, you know what I'm saying, and circling, and then it's like you feel like a person's supposed to feel bad, and and all that, and you just look at people like, I don't know what else you want from me. I mean, I didn't say what I had to say. I could talk to you again, but I guess when I said something the first time, it didn't click, it didn't register. And then it's like
That's
say
hard
something.
For people.
It is, but I have a right to deal with what I want to deal with, what I don't want to deal with, and I'm just at that point. I'm not available for nobody.
Usually that don't happen until like women are in their 40s and 50s.
Baby, I told you I'm an old soul. You baby.
Really are.
So it's just like everything.
Literally, I hear that from a lot of older women that are like, "Listen, I don't care no more. Like I live my life. I did that.
You only live once.
You do,
and you can't focus on. You can't focus on nothing else if you can't focus on you. So right now, this timing right now in life is about myself. It's getting myself to align with me.
Yeah.
I'm aligned with God. I gotta get. I'm still getting aligned with Him even better. But I gotta get aligned with me. And that's the thing. It's like it's that self love. I got self love. I love me. If anybody is, I love me some. Yeah. No, baby. I know listen. What you mean. I rock me. I hug me. Listen. I love me. I love me some me. Okay. And that's just the thing. I want women, men to understand it. And that's, I'm going to say this. I want women to understand because women always want to fault men. It's always his fault. He did this and he did that. Baby, you gotta admit to accountability when you're wrong too. Yeah. It ain't a such thing that I don't do nothing wrong. And I'll be honest, I don't.
I think I'm realizing that now. Like you even talked about the baggage thing, and like, yeah, I was in a mentally emotionally abusive relationship, but I also had to take accountability for where my place,
because a lot of time you stay in those positions because you allow yourself to. And then it's like when you get told that, as a friend tell you that, the thing is, oh, she hating, oh, she just mad, or she jealous. Well, if you want to keep, what?
I know, but it's also
you gotta let a person learn on their own. Because you can only say but so much. I can only tell you but so much because I could talk to you till you blue in the face. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it comes down and boiled to it, it's still gonna stem from the choice that you make. Yeah. And you know what? This is my pet peeve word. I hate that word mistake. They should never even create a mistake.
I feel like you've said this before.
Because I said it on one of my lives.
No,
but
yes,
I don't like the word mistake because it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, let me elaborate on it. Because you went into doing something and it just didn't come out the way you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened. It wasn't a mistake because you knew what you was getting into.
Okay.
So that word mistake is a pet peeve. I don't like that word.
You don't like that word. I don't, and I'm still trying to be open-minded.
Yeah, it's just like it's not a mistake because we make a decision. It's everything that we do. It has a consequence behind it.
That's good.
It's a consequence behind it. So you got to be prepared for whichever consequence it is. It could be a good consequence or it could be a bad one.
I hear you.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
And the other thing is, I want to say to everybody, everything we go through is a lesson and a blessing. Okay, so it's the thing, and why I'm saying that is because God talked to us all the time, and it takes us to take heed of what He's trying to teach us. You know what I mean? And I think the world need to wake up. The stuff that's going around, it's like, they want to, all these false accusations of COVID, it's COVID too, it's all man-made.
I believe that.
A lot of this stuff is man-made.
Don't be getting out here. We actually, they're like, it's a conspiracy.
No, I don't know conspiracy theory, but ain't none of that. I'm just being real. Because the Lord come carry me through it all.
Okay.
But I'm just being real. Like, y'all got to quit letting me, it's just, I could go deep into some things, but
we're gonna have to have a part
for that too, because it ain't the time for that. But it's just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna tell y'all, if you don't have a relationship with God, get one. It's very, very important, because like I said before, mama can't pull you out of, daddy can't, your husband can't. Listen, get a relationship. And then when you get a relationship, make sure that you do have a God-fearing man and a God-fearing woman, that y'all could be equally yoked. Because see, let me tell y'all something else too. Because equally yoked does not just stand for a significant other. Equally yoked means friendship with anybody. What type of relationship you have with anybody, you have to be equally yoked with that person. Yeah. And if you're not equally yoked with a person, that's just like if you go stab your finger 10 times. I'm saying that because if you stab it 10 times and you still get the same result that you your finger bleeding.
Yeah.
It ain't healed. It ain't closed up. You get what I'm saying? That's just to let you know this is not it.
Yeah.
You have to let go. Sometimes we want to hold on to things that's just meant to be let go. Not because I'm mad at you and I don't want to see the best. I want everybody that I ever encountered in my life, whether if I talk to them today, whether if I don't talk to them no more, I still want to see everybody be successful and be whatever they want to be in life. Because at the end of the day, you still have that control.
Yeah.
And let go of things that mean good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we want to hold on like just don't go. Listen, baby, you got to let it go. Listen.
Let it go.
Yeah, like Frozen. Okay. Elsa said let it go.
Elsa said let it go. Like
thanks
Elsa.
for having me. And hopefully this helps somebody.
Listen,
somebody
I
and touch somebody.
My girl had that wisdom. She was good.
So.
I was like, okay, she getting loose. Oh, she getting loose. But I always like to give my divine guests their flowers, and I just want to say thank you, first of all, for sharing your journey with me. Thank you for being a great friend in my life.
Oh, you're welcome.
I do truly appreciate you and admire you, and just everything about you just is just beautiful.
Well,
and
thank you.
I just appreciate your wisdom, and I know somebody's gonna be blessed by this because you're a blessing. And you're always I will always see 9th grade Marie in the lunch line.
Yes, baby.
So I just can't wait to see what God does in your life. I can't wait to see you jump.
Yeah, I'm a jump, mama.
Jump.
Just look forward to my podcast.
I have Jazz. She said, glad I tuned in, and she said, and it did. Yes,
well, I'm glad you
touched somebody.
I'm glad it did.
Yes,
I'm gonna give you a snip.
Okay.
My podcast is gonna be Mama Marie's Kitchen.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell y'all now, if y'all can't stand the heat, baby, please don't enter.
Oh,
please don't enter.
Mama Marie's Kitchen coming 2023, 24.
This is the beginning. The making is 23, but 24. That's when I'm gonna come out.
She gonna fully jump. 2024.
Yeah,
the beginning quarter, the beginning half.
Mama Marie's Kitchen.
Oh shit! I love that. If you can't stand the heat, stay out the kitchen.
If you can't stand my heat,
that's
enter
fire.
The kitchen, because don't
even enter the kitchen.
Don't enter the kitchen, because I'm gonna be very, very transparent.
Yes, she will, because
we're gonna have all subjects. Lord, life, everything it is.
I'm
willing to help somebody. As somebody gonna help me, because when you have a podcast, you put different things and stuff out there, but it's also it's feedback that can help you.
Yeah,
other things that you're going through, because we all go through things without telling somebody. You know what I mean? Because Lord know everything we go through.
Oh,
but here's somebody. That's what I want to say before we get off. The biggest thing another thing that bothers me with people is when people. I love to see people elevate, but don't forget who helped you elevate along the way. It's always I did. No. It's not you did. You did do the footwork. You did some of that work.
Yeah.
But the Lord sent them people.
Yeah.
Some people. He sent himself along your way too. Yeah. So give credit when credit is due. So be good to people as people be good to you. Y'all know I say it all the time when I'm on Snapchat. Doing my motivational speaking.
If they follow you,
they can follow me on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have Snapchat. I have
Snapchat.
That? All right, we'll put it in the show notes so that you guys can follow her, because I know she be on Facebook sometimes.
Sometimes I don't really get on Facebook no more with it, but I be on my Snappy.
All right, so we're gonna have to get her Snapchat so y'all can get that motivation and inspiration from Marie.
My thing
Mama
is,
Marie.
Be a blessing to somebody else as somebody be a blessing to you.
Yes.
And love on someone else as someone loves on you. You just never know. Yeah. I always try to be a big just a small impact, a huge impact to somebody. Always do that good morning, because people don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where a mental state can be.
Yeah.
And a simple good morning can change somebody's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just be good to people. You got to be good to one another. Yes. You know what I mean? And the thing I want to say, and I'm done. I'm really done, G. I'm really done. It's the people that's out with the signs and they hungry and stuff like that. Y'all can't just always assume that it's a scam, because some of them is a scam. But you have to also remember God come in all shapes and sizes, and your tests come in different ways. So a test could be that could be your test to see if you're gonna help with His people. So if you are able to, because we all got type, going through our own things too. But if you're able to help somebody, help somebody. You know what I mean? If you got some change, if you got, or even if you go into a store and you see somebody as you was driving and pulling in, grab them something and take it to them. I mean, they can either take it or they don't want it.
Yeah.
But you got something that's so bold. Now I had one to tell me, well, her, I ain't gonna say one, like, cause she's somebody.
Yeah.
So we was leaving out of the store. And she's like, you have X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? I gotta go all detail. And I was like, no, but we ended up giving her, the juice we just got, she's like, but if I had a couple dollars, I would have gave her a couple of dollars or whatever, but I didn't have, cash on me or whatever. But she asked for straight cash. Like, basically, like, she ain't want what we was giving her. I need cash, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it at the same time, you know what I mean? But just still be mindful to them people, you know what I mean? Because they're still somebody.
Yeah, they
you know
are.
what I mean? They somebody. And then and like I said, we all have a journey. We don't know why where they at and what they're going through, but continue to pray for it. Because I pray for the world every night. I pray for everybody. I just don't pray for my family. I pray for the world. So just be good to them people, because you don't know. We could be fine today and we can be outside tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
so just
true.
Be good to these people, because you just never, like I said, God come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
and
a friend of mine,
you,
Coomer, he'd be like, Davina, I swear, like, some like homeless people are like angels. Like, I was like, and I just like the way he, like you said, God comes in all shapes, different ways, and sometimes it'd be a test.
And
So
sometimes it is a test.
I appreciate you touching that, because I don't think we touch on that.
They don't. It's because it's a lot. You see it more now here.
Yeah, well, downtown,
being downtown up Peace Street, like I see it everywhere, and it's just like it's so sad. You know what I mean? And I be in my mind, because I'm like, I wish I had a big enough space to have somebody to. It's getting ready to get cold again.
I know,
you know what I mean? And the other thing is like with people that I don't like, those when you doing it, you do if you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart, you do not have to get on social media posting that you fed this person and did that for that person, because to me, I feel like when you do that, it's not genuine. That's my own opinion. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell the world that you done did this for this man or you done did this for this woman or a family. Like, just do it. If it's on your heart, do it. But don't do it and expecting something back. People think they doing stuff for people and, oh, God gonna bless me. It ain't always about that. Sometimes it's just you just was supposed to be meant to be a blessing to that person without something in return. It's okay. So that's just, I don't know. I get serious when it's about other people. Like, learn to love people, because we all got a journey and we all go through things. Everything could be smooth sailing in your life and it can turn and flip. The quicker you climb up, you gotta cherish. You can be knocked down, baby.
Yes.
So that's it. That's all I have to say. Yeah, because I keep going, because now it's coming, and then we're gonna get up off of here.
Let's get off it for Marie. Have us on here until I got my kids. They probably like,
oh, where's my mom?
No, they know. Like, we do the routine. They're back in school, so. But yes, Marie, thank you. I knew this was gonna listen. She was a little nervous at first. I said, "Girl,"
I said, "Listen, I ain't even nervous when I get on live on my." But I was nervous coming out, but it was kind of different, somebody else.
Different experience.
Excuse me.
But you did great, and I just appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate, you sharing, things for people that they can really take heed and listen to and kind of, different perspective. You've given a different perspective today. So, well, everyone, I thank you for those who have tuned in tonight. I see there's love on here. I mean, people loving it and watching. So I just appreciate you guys tuning into this episode of the Divinely Crowned Conversations podcast. I'm going to make sure I get Marie's Snapchat so you guys can keep up with her as well. I also forgot to share in the beginning. Don't forget that I am taking new clients. I know that fall is coming. Those dark months are coming, and you definitely, we want that extra support, whether it is going to therapy or getting a life coach such as myself. Make sure if you are interested that you DM me or, write me on one of my platforms, and we can get you booked for a connect conversation. Also, speaking of school, I know so many of our children have just went back to school. So prayers to our children as they go into a new school year. We just are asking God to just cover them and be with them, keep their angels camped around them, their teachers, the school, the staff, the kids' minds, everybody involved in our school year. We just are asking a blood covering of protection over them. And I just pray that all your children do well. their behavior is better than it was last year.
They're
And
destined to do good.
yes, and our next generation is destined for greatness. And just be encouraging in their parents.
Don't forget, y'all the first teachers.
Yeah.
So don't feel just because y'all kids in school is all onto the teachers, it's also still onto the parents. You still have to be involved in their academics and making sure you do schoolwork and all that and checking homework, because it's very, very important for that. So yes, please do it. Please.
I have Jazz. She said, yes, Lord, because she's in the schooling system. All right, but we're about to get off here before we have another whole hour conversation. I love y'all. And remember, you are divinely crowned.